We are joined by DOH Spokesperson Assistant Secretary Albert Domingo. Good morning. Welcome back to Morning Matters.
Good morning, Gretchen, and good morning to everyone watching us this morning.
Okay, there was this whole debate over the weekend over the MAIFIP budget in particular. Just to put in the details right there, from 20, or rather, wait, hahanapin ko lang From
20-something
49
to
billion in
40-something,
Congress, it went to 29 billion in the Senate, and now it sits at 51 billion in the BICAM. Are you happy at the Department of Health with this increase in budget with the MAIFIP program?
The DOH position is contained in the Senate's sabihin na natin amendment. Now, it's very, I'm very careful with the terms kasi the term insertion is heavily demonized. So the proper term, and it's not an insertion kasi it was properly discussed during the Senate version of the General Appropriations Bill. So it is an amendment. They inserted a provision or a line item called the Zero Balance Billing Expansion to Local Government Unit Hospitals. Sa amin nanggaling yung proposal na yun, Gretchen. There is an official letter from the Secretary of Health, Dr. Ted Herbosa, requesting that we increase the amount that will go direct to level 3 hospitals of the local government units. Gretchen, I was monitoring the BICAM, that this was Saturday night around 6 p.m. To 8 p.m. when the discussions were really intense when it came to the, not the whole DOH budget, actually, in particular, the MAIFIP budget. And we were hoping that the Senate version, which our budget sponsor, the chair of the Finance Committee, Senator Win Gatchalian, adequately proposed on the floor. But of course, as we saw, the decision went to increasing it to MAIFIP. Gretchen, mas mabilis kasi kung pupunta diretso sa LGU accounting. You know the secret behind DOH's no balance billing or zero balance billing? I have to use the terms properly. No balance billing is the old PhilHealth program na hindi natutupad uniformly kasi iba-iba yung mga hospitals. May DOH, may LGU, may private. It depends on who owns the hospital. If the owner of the hospital says, I'm going to foot your bill, I'm going to zero it out and make sure you go home without a centavo coming out from your pocket, yung may-ari ang magsasabi nun. So, if the DOH is able to do it because we have budget, we get it from somewhere. We get it from our maintenance and other operating expenditures and the retained income of our hospitals. To expand it to LGUs, we're looking for a way to put it in. MAIFIP, unfortunately, is not the way because MAIFIP, by its definition, says medical assistance for indigents and financially incapacitated patients, which means babalik tayo dun sa old model ng PhilHealth, yung dating model na hahanapan ka pa ng proof of income and so on and so forth. Ito, yung zero balance billing ng DOH, basta nagpa-admit ka sa isang basic accommodation or ward bed, wala nang tanong-tanong. Ikaw ay zero balance bill na.
Okay, so imbis na mapunta sa MAIFIP, mas gusto nyo mapunta ito doon sa provision allocating for LGUs.
Yes,
that provision is under which section of the budget?
I don't know the section number, but it was discussed. So I was monitoring. The senators were pointing to the screen nung Saturday night open BICAM. So they have a text copy of it. It was flashed on the screen. So I just don't know the exact provision number. Pero nandun siya. And it has an amount of around 1 billion. That's the best case scenario, Gretchen. There is another scenario na pwede rin naman yun sa MAIFIP ilagay, but ganito yung proposal ng Department of Health. Merong portion, large portion, siguro mga 80%, go down to 70%, na ganun pa rin yung mechanism. Diretso na lang siya dun sa mga LGU hospitals, dun sa kanilang accounting, para ang usapan na lang is between the patient who is already admitted at basic accommodation of the LGU, tsaka dun sa billing section. Wala nang kailangan puntahan na politiko, hindi mo na kailangan pumunta sa DOH. Pag nandun ka na sa hospital, dumating na yung bill mo, actually hindi mo na nga kailangan, dapat nga pagdating ng bill mo, naka-zero na eh. That's the story behind zero balance billing of DOH. They don't even get a number on their bill because the accounting, the settling happens inside the office. Walang lako-lako, walang punta-punta, walang palakasan. Doon sa loob, sasabihin lang ng accountant, may budget pa ba dyan? Meron. Okay, zero out. Ganun lang kasimple. Now, that will be around 70 to 80% sana. This is scenario B. And then yung mga 20 to 30%, yun yung pwedeng iiwan na lang as what we call a catastrophic health fund. This exists in Singapore. They call it the MediFund. Yung MediFund sa Singapore, kapag hindi na kayanan nung subsidy ng mga hospitals in Singapore, kapag hindi pa rin nakayanan nung kanilang yung Medisure, which is their equivalent of PhilHealth, and yung Medisave nila, which is yung medical savings nila, then saka ka lang pupunta dun sa catastrophic health fund.
Akala ko kasi kakapupunta sa politiko.
Hindi. Ayaw natin
Okay.
Ayaw natin yan.
Okay, sabi ng House leadership, hindi pa raw handa ang ating health sector no doon sa full implementation ng Universal Healthcare Law. Kaya kailangan pa itong budget dagdagan yung budget ng MAIFIP. Ang sabi ni House Appropriations Committee Chairperson Mika Swansing, an estimated 1.1 million patients would be affected by the proposed cut. Are you seeing the same impact?
Well, kailangan paliwanag natin kaya tatagalogin ko, no? Hindi naman mawawala yung pera. Ang tanong dito is saan siya dadaan? Nandiyan yung pera eh. Ano man mangyari, meron tayong nakikita, kumbaga kung nakalatag na yung baraha, magkano ang available na fiscal space? Magkano ang budget na available para pambayad sa pasyente? Pwede mong i-add yan. Anong mga i-add natin? Yung 113 billion na papunta sa PhilHealth, di ba? 60 plus 53 o 113 yun. Idagdag natin itong 51 na papunta sa MAIFIP. So mahina ako sa math. 113, 51, 164. Tama ba? Di ba? Kaya tayo
Yes,
nag-medicine.
164.
164. So, ngayon, ang tanong sa health financing, ano yung pinakamabilis at pinakasabi na nating equitable? Sa Tagalog, yung pinakapatas na paraan para bayaran ang mga gastusing pangkalusugan. Yun yung pipili ka. Dadaan ba sa PhilHealth? Sabi ng Republic Act 7875, Gretchen, single-payer system daw, pero 30 years na. Ang PhilHealth is around, 30 years old na or more or less na siya eh. So, 30 years old na yung PhilHealth, nakita naman natin yung out-of-pocket hindi tumatalab. So, let's be real. We are actually a multi-payer system and that's not bad. Singapore is a multi-payer system. You also have many other jurisdictions. Japan is also a multi-payer system. But there is a single dominant strategic purchaser. Tagalogin natin yon. May isang pinakamalaking nagbabayad. Isipin nyo ho kasi parang pakiawan
At sino
yan eh.
dapat yun? At sino dapat yun? PhilHealth dapat yun.
Yan ang sinasabi ng mga kong. Ideally, PhilHealth. Okay, tanggapin natin yung argument nila. Tama ang mga honorables natin na sinabi nila, hindi nga fully functioning yung PhilHealth. Alam mo, on the side, Gretchen, yan rin yung sinabi namin sa Supreme Court dun sa desisyon dun sa Pimentel versus House of Representatives, yung 89.9. But of course, we followed the Supreme Court decision. We're not questioning it. Now, we look at the next best option. We don't think it has to be through the guarantee letters, which is a violation of another Supreme Court ruling, Belhica versus Executive Ochoa, yung nag-shoot down nung pork barrel noong 2013. Isang Supreme Court decision din yan eh. So, ang sinasabi ng DOH, caught between a rock and a hard place. Kumbaga, hindi umaandar ng... Well, yung PhilHealth, mabuti nilang ang bagong CEO natin, saka yung active na board ngayon, talagang tumataas. Nasa 250 billion na 80-something% more. Tama ba yung figures ko? Basta nasa 250 billion na yung benefit payouts. Tumataas na yung bayad ng PhilHealth. But it takes time. Ang sinasabi ng DOH, ibigay dun sa line item na diretso papunta mula sa DOH, diretso papunta sa LGU para hindi ka nadadaan dun sa kusaan saang opisina. Yun yung zero balance billing model. Yun ang hinihingi namin. We're not saying abolish MAIFIP dahil meron ka paling maliit na katiting. Yun yung equivalent dun sa catastrophic health fund ng Singapore na baka sa private, baka dun sa mga ospital na or mga klinika na hindi covered ng zero balance billing. Pero marami. No, yung tanong mo kanina, bago ako napakahabang intervention, yung 1 million patients na nasa-serve ng MAIFIP, masisilbihan pa rin po sila dahil lilipat lang yung pera dun sa daan.
In short, hindi nyo tinatanggihan yung extra funds. Kung may pera naman pala, kung kaya nyo magpasok ng additional na pera dito, ilagay nyo na lang sa sistema imbis na idaan sa mga politiko. That's loud and clear, no?
Correct.
But how is the zero balance billing program going with our DOH hospitals? Kamusta naman? Hindi naman nauubusan ng pondo sa ngayon?
Hindi. Yung ating statistics, no, simula nung SONA hanggang ngayon, kodigo lang muna ako, 1,078,164 patients na yung nasilbihan sa DOH hospitals. Imagine, Gretchen, kung mag-expand tayo sa LGU, siguro mga another 1 to 2 million patients yung kayang hawakan ng mga LGU hospitals. Yung tanong mo kung nauubusan ng pondo, yung mga hospital namin, nagsasabi sila, Secretary Erbosa, Sec Domingo, medyo malapit na tayo, kumbaga sa sa kotse yung gasolina umiilaw-ilaw na yung tangke. Pero sabi
Okay pa
naman
naman.
namin, Gretchen. Pero sabi namin, that is the whole point of health financing. Hindi dapat binabangko ang pera. Ang pera dapat pinapaandar yung sistema, yung ospital. And we are now in December. Sabi nga namin, tama yung forecast ng Department of Health na magagamit ng maayos yung pera at meron kang 1 million plus patients na masisilbihan, and then we ask for money for the next year. Ganun dapat yung cycle.
Tama rin na yung timing siguro ng Pangulo dun sa kanyang SONA. There was enough funding left for the year. No? Now, speaking of the 60 billion budget that should be paid back to PhilHealth, paano kukunin yun? Hindi ko natanong kay Ken Abante kanina kung ano yung proseso niyan. Pero agree ba kayo na dinagdag na lamang siya dun sa 2026 budget? Hindi ba tama yung mga kritiko na sinasabi na parang binil nyo yung taong bayan ng 2 beses kung idadagdag at kukunin nyo lang sa tax at hindi nyo kinuha doon sa National Treasury or kung saan siya napunta. How do we get that back, that money back, that 60 billion pesos?
Hindi umabot yung kodigo ko dun sa segue ni Gretchen, pero I was looking at a copy of the 1987 Constitution. It's in my digital copy right now. Hindi ko lang mahanap yung exact number, no, but the lawyers say there is a provision there that says no money shall be paid out of the treasury except through appropriations. Sa madaling salita, sa madaling salita, Gretchen, I think you're getting it. Unless you put it in the budget bill, which becomes the budget law, government has no authorization to pay it out. That's the whole point of public finance management. The good Cardinal David, I read his piece, no? Yung sinabi niya, yung parang double charge or something like that.
Double billing.
May punto naman siya. Oo. But he is referring to revenue generation. Okay? Pwede ka pa rin maglagay sa General Appropriations Act nung utos na ibalik. Yun yung nakalagay dun sa budget bill ngayon. Ang tanong ngayon is saan kukunin yung pera? And yung opinion ng ating cardinal is dapat hindi through tax generation, dapat through asset recovery. Pwede naman yun, that's an option, but these are kumbaga para bang may pros and cons. I've been monitoring other commentaries na nagsasabi, kasi kung asset recovery yan, aantayin mo yung until final conviction. Sabi ng mga lawyers na talagang hinatulan na siya ng Sandigan Bayan, mag-a-appeal pa yun sa Supreme Court. Pag sinabi ng Supreme Court, finally, tapos na yan, plunder ka or whatever case, ibalik mo yung pera, doon mo palang makukuha. Yan yung mga challenges kapag nagpapatakbo ka ng pera ng bayan.
So kumbaga parang that's the constitutional way of getting the money back is through appropriations.
The appropriations provides the legal authorization, spending authorization na pwede mong ibigay yung pera sa PhilHealth. Kung saan mo siya kukunin ay hiwalay na tanong. At dapat talagang sagutin doon mga debate na kukunin ba to doon sa mga contractor na mako-convict, kukunin ba to sa buwis. May isa pa, Gretchen, dahil advocate na rin tayo. Taasan natin yung sin taxes. Wala naman siguro magdi-disagree pag buwisan mo yung alcohol, yung vape, tsaka yung sigarilyo. O baka doon pwede manggaling yon. So maraming options.
Okay. So in short, okay, magdadagdag tayo sa budget ng PhilHealth for 2026. But as to how that money or what it is composed of, yun yung subject for debate. Pero
Yes.
yun nga, would you have any idea if that money was already spent? Yung sa 60 billion na yun, how much of that was spent and where did it go?
Yung exact numbers hindi ko memorize, no, pero alam ko yung mga expenditure items, 27 billion or something na punta dun sa health emergency allowance, yung HEA na sinasabi na hindi nabayaran dun sa nakaraan. Ngayon, last year lang nabayaran dahil dito sa rather this year because of that particular 27 billion na kinuha. And then meron din tayong mga ospital, 3 DOH hospitals na pinondohan yung kanilang equipment and construction. Meron din akong naaalala na maraming equipment, various medical equipment and commodities na pumunta sa mga ospital. Meron lang 13 billion na ginastos naman dun sa counterpart financing for foreign assisted projects. Yun yung alam namin, dinidebate. Pero in so far as health is concerned, so bali 60 minus 13. So more or less mga 80-something% bumalik sa health sector. Lalo na dun sa health emergency allowance ng mga kawawa nating healthcare workers. Ang tagal na nilang hinihingi ito. So, okay, babalik ko yung tanong, kung mag-asset recovery ba tayo at pag-uusapan natin, kukunin natin yung HEA na binayad natin dun sa ating mga It's a question, Gretchen.
Oo. Yun nga siguro ang hinihingi din ng ng mga advocate, yung listahan kung saan to napunta.
Kaya
For some
nga,
semblance
sure
of
naman
accountability. Oo.
Gretchen, sure naman ako, Kapo Doktor, I'm sure yung mga health advocates ayaw nilang bawiin yung HEA unless they want to be purist about it. Kasi kung ganun yung advokasya, ilabas natin yung resibo. Wala.
Wala ba napunta sa ayuda?
Wala. Hindi kasi namin hindi namin pinapondohan yung mga ayuda. And ang
ito yung excess funds, no? Just to be clear, the excess funds that was sent back to the National Treasury.
So the reason I'm smiling, Gretchen, is the term excess funds is frowned upon by the Supreme Court. And we follow the Supreme Court. So I will not call it excess funds. I'll just call it the amount that it is, 60 billion. Yun yung pinapabalik ng Supreme Court.
Okay. On a final point, there was also some debate over the budget increase in health centers of the DOH from 14 to 21 billion that was increased even with failures in implementation. Sinasabi dito ay meron nga tayong mga health center, incomplete naman o hindi naman umaandar. That's why LGUs and PPPs need to be involved here. So, what are you seeing here with the implementation side?
So you hit it straight on its head, no, yung sinabi na baka dapat hindi lang DPWH ang nag-i-implement. Ang hindi kasi naiintindihan ng ating mga kababayan kapag tinignan mo yung budget law, yung ngayon, yung 2025 General Appropriations Act, doon sa Health Facilities Enhancement Program, merong special provision na nagsasabi kapag ang balor, ang amount ay 5 million and above, DPWH ang gagawa. So we're sure and we think that Secretary Vince Dizon is trying to clean the ranks, etc. Hot item din sila kagabi, no? Pero ang sabi nga ngayon na the DOH agrees with the proposal na wag nang i-restrict na DPWH lang ang gagawa. Hayaan natin yung mga LGUs at saka yung mga iba pang minsan kasi pwedeng PPP, pwedeng via LGU procurement, yung mga ibang modalities para hindi sa Tagalog, hindi naiipit yung pera sa isang tagagastos lang, which dati DPWH. Simula nung nagkaroon ng flood control controversy, syempre natakot ng gumastos ang karamihan sa mga district engineers. Kaya ang implementation rate ngayon ng HFEP talagang hindi gumalaw simula noong mga July onwards kasi ayaw ng gumastos.
Okay, maraming salamat for breaking that down for us and helping us understand the developments over at the health sector. Medyo nagkaroon kami ng kalinawan ngayon. Sana nga madagdagan kayo ng pondo pero malagay sa tama ito. Maraming salamat for your time today. We have DOH spokesperson ASEC Albert Domingo.